What's going on, everyone? In today's video, we're going to talk about a really exciting update to restrictedinventory.com. So this is a service run by Avery Martin, Roamer the Roamer. Essentially, if you have any books on Amazon that you're restricted in that you cannot sell, well, they offer a service where basically you can consign your book with them. But one of the reasons why I'm really excited about this announcement, which I'll talk about in the future, is it's going to make this a viable option in many more cases. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Joji. I'm a high school teacher. I also sell books on Amazon, and I'm here to try to help you guys start a profitable side hustle, hopefully help you reach financial independence earlier in life as well. But here it is over here. So Avery Roamer Martin, Roamer the Roamer, said, we have an update for you guys on restricted inventory. Basically, in the past, they would take a 50% net after profit. So in other words, you sold a product after Amazon fees, they would give you 50% of whatever they received. So obviously it's a win-win, right? They're going to sell your book or your, DVD for you, something that you can sell, and at least you'll make some money from it. But it was a 50-50 split, right? That's definitely a lot of money. Like if you sell a textbook for $100, after Amazon fees, maybe that's $75 net. You're paying them $37.50. I mean, that's a big chunk of change, right? So, oftentimes restrictedinventory.com wasn't the best option because, you might be able to sell up to a buyback company for $45. That's immediate cash. Or you might be able to go over to eBay and sell for $75 and maybe net more that way. So there used to be more. Or I should say there almost always was a better option. No, not all the time, but a lot of times there's a better option outside of restrictedinventory.com. But the big update is this, that they're going to cap their profit at $20. So they're going to cap how much they take on a per item sale to $20. So the reason why that's really crazy for high dollar items is because, if you sell a book for $100, $120, $150, $200 now, they're only taking $20. Like you're actually going to be able to keep quite a bit of money. In this case, it's going to be way better than trying to sell to a buyback company or even sell it on eBay, probably. So I'll just give you one example, right? So here's a book right here that I have. This is a book called Theory and Practice of Counseling and Psychotherapy. Pretty sure it's legit. I mean, it has a Senki sticker there. Everything looks good to me. Can never truly be true. Can never truly know 100% if this book is going to be counterfeit or not counterfeit. But to me, it looks like it's a legitimate copy. It's got the sticker on there. It's got pages that have color, right? The font looks great. The ISBN looks good. So everything looks good about the book. But this is a book that I'm restricted on Amazon. So if I come over here to the Amazon page, you can see eligibility says no. So this is a book that's highly likely to be counterfeited, and therefore, I'm restricted in the popular textbook category, right? But, when I'm having to think about it, I was like, okay, what are my options for selling this book, right? So let's go take a look at those options. Well, obviously I can't sell on Amazon. So what we could do is look at bookfinder.com. And so I went over here and added the ISBN into bookfinder.com, and you can see that there's only 2 buyback companies even offering any money for this book. That's Books Road and Valor. They're basically offering $12.40. So that's option number 1. I can get $12 for this book. Option number 2 is I can go over to eBay and try to sell on eBay. I'm looking at some recent sold comps. These are November 16th, November 16th, November 8th. It looks like they're, even as low as $20, but between 20 and 40. So it's like, okay, 44, maybe 47. Let's say 40 would be pretty reasonable. If I sell for 40, I've got eBay fees. You got shipping fees. Medium mail is probably these $5 or $6 medium mail shipping there. Plus you have the 15% eBay fee. So, you might be netting, maybe $32 or something minus whatever you paid for the book. So, okay, so we have that option. Maybe we get $32 for this book by selling on eBay, but of course we have to wait. It's not immediate money like a buyback company is. So what about restrictedinventory.com? Well, restrictedinventory.com is going to be selling your book on Amazon, which means that they're going to be buybacks eligible. Basically, Avery has a partnership with somebody who has an account that is EPEC approved. I think that's the term for it. But essentially, their account doesn't get test bought for counterfeit, so they're able to sell all books. And the reason why is that supposedly they're whoever they're working with, like they actually vet the books, make sure that they inspect them and that they're actually legitimate or not. So apparently they're following those procedures that allows them to now sell those textbooks on Amazon, which is good for us. So what I'm gonna do is look at the Keepa chart of this graph. And right now the used price of this book is hanging out right around the $40 mark. But you'll notice that this has insane textbook seasonality in January and also in August, September, where the sales rank of this book gets really low. Use out has a stereotypical U shape, which would mean that, hey, the sales rank is improving and the book is becoming significantly more popular. But what I really want you to hone it into here is actually going to be the buy box prices. And that's going to be denoted by this purple triangles here, or diamonds here, which are going to be the buy box used prices. And specifically, I want to focus on the buy box use prices during the textbook season. So during the last textbook season, you can see that it kind of started out right around $84, got as high as $90, then up to $100, and even up to $140 at some point. But a lot of these sales were probably happening in the $90 range. If we look at the previous textbook season, you can see that, for a good part of the season, there's even buy box prices in the $130 range. So not saying that they're going to be able to sell it for that necessarily, but what I will say is that I would say with strong likelihood that they're going to be able to sell this book come textbook season, come January, for 80 to 90, maybe even more than that. And so, if we go ahead and put in the sales price, let's say more conservatively, they sell for $80. Well, after fees, that profit would be $56. So they would only take $20. That's the max that they would take. Basically, they could take a 50-50 split up to $20. So in this case, they would take $20. So that would leave you with $36.53. So that would already be better than eBay. That'd be $4 or $5 more than what eBay would net you. You wouldn't have to ship the book. You wouldn't have to list, have listed the book. You wouldn't have to keep it on, your store, on your shelf, at your home. It wouldn't take up space. And I'd say that's a little bit more conservative. Like if they were able to sell it for a more crazy price in the, let's say, $100 range, all of a sudden that's a $73 profit, and that would net, that would net $73. And so they're only taking $20, right? So now all of a sudden they take 20, you take the other 53. So that's a pretty crazy update to restrictedinventory.com. Now, I will still say that, for any book that you're looking at, make sure you do your due diligence, you do research. What's better, eBay, buyback company, or restrictedinventory.com? All I can say is that, restrictedinventory.com by far has become way more competitive, or I should say, is now way more competitive than they used to be, because especially for higher dollar books that you can't sell, it's very likely that they're going to net significantly more than $40. In other words, it's likely that you're going to be able to take a book or a product that you have, sell for quite a bit of money, and still reap or net most of the profit from that book. So really interesting service. If you don't want to use the link below to send anything to restrictedinventory.com, I would earn a small commission off of what you said. But like I said, by no means am I saying send everything to restrictedinventory.com. Do your research. I'm just saying that like a book like this, I'm sending this book to restrictedinventory.com because it's the best option. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.